Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. Fine. So I think the slides would also be visible
Yes,
to you.
yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Right.
Fine.
So, yeah, a very warm welcome to everybody, all the participants, and very good afternoon. First and foremost thing, let me congratulate you all, and especially the team of SS Gandhi College, to select such a topic, such a versatile topic in having a STTP, right? We have seen many STTPs on the core technical branches like analysis and say data mining and all, but to target a topic which is common across all the branches, all the streams, all the you can say levels, BTech, MTech, and PhDs is such a wonderful thing. And my kudos to the entire team and the funding agencies. So today my topic would be how to find a good topic for research and search databases for conducting the literature search, right? I have made only 10 slides, right? And I have a very unconventional way of giving the talks. But rest assured, you will understand the exact ground level reality of how it is done. And trust me, you will have a very better perspective of this topic compared to any of the literature you read or any of the cliche, I can say, presentations you attend, right? So pardon me for some very funny topics, pardon me with some very funny examples, but that is the way in which I give my presentations. You are free to stop me in between. I don't mind, or even if you are writing it in the chat box, then also it's fine, right? So let us start with that. So first and foremost thing, I will just be answering to the following questions within the presentation, right? So there is no such rocket science. There is no such very different or you can say difficult softwares to demonstrate. I will just clear your doubts on these questions, that what first is research, right? You might have heard, you might have, you can say, heard the definition or got the definition of research by different professors and you can say speakers within this STTP itself, as well as on the net, right? I will just present my perspective of what exactly a research is, right? Then what is the definition of a good topic? So when we say that I want a very good topic for research, right? I want to have a very good topic for my startup or for my PhD or masters, right? Then what is the definition of this good topic? Right? Because one topic which is good for me may not be good for you, right? And one topic which is good for everybody might not be good for me, right? So let us first discuss what is the definition, then what is a literature review. Because first we say, when we are selecting a topic, first roadblock which comes to our mind or which comes to us, right, when we present is, have you done enough survey, have you done enough review, right? And what exactly does the literature review means? Is it just that collecting the data? Is it just that downloading the papers? It is just that reading the paper in a once, right? What exactly is a literature review? Then based on these two, how to decide a good topic? There is a certain, you can say, roadmap. There is a certain path in which we decide this topic, right? Once we decide a topic, there is no way backward, right? If you have selected a topic for your masters, then 2 months down the line, if you want to change, it will be very difficult, right? So why not have a very structured approach, right, on selecting a good topic? So that is what I will be discussing. And lastly, how to search the database, right? If you are through with the first 4 questions, the fifth question will be very easy, right? It is just a simple search, and you can say just a simple pros and cons, or on and off of a normal website which we have, right? So let us discuss all this, right? So what exactly do we mean by research? So if you ask me about the definition, right, then it is nothing but a journey from going from known to unknown, right? So the classical definition of research, which I like the most, is that to know what is unknown, right? It can be a small survey, it can be a small, you can say, experiment, it can be small trials, it can be anything, right? But when you know, when you go on a journey, right, from for knowing something which is unknown till date to you, right, is termed as a research, right? And the journey which documents this and the document which you can say empowers this journey, right? This journey, when you communicate to somebody, right, that is in form of a research paper, right? So what is a research paper? It is nothing but a document which will tell the tale about your journey, that how you got to know which was first unknown to you, right? So that document would be defined as a research paper in a simple terms, right? Now, so given that there are 3 or 4 different types of research paper, wherein First is a technical research paper where the work is carried out by you. Then there is a review paper wherein you do an exhaustive literature review. Right? And third is a short communication or letter to editor. Right? There are several different sections of research papers which we have. Right? First common notion about research is that can we publish negative results? Right? Even if you select a good topic, right, even if you are on your way to select a topic, that you will obviously be very curious to know that what would happen if my results do not come. At the start of your journey, you might have anticipated that 1 plus 1 will be equal to 2, right? But this never happens in research, right? It might be happening that 1 plus 1 would come out to something else. 1 plus would never get added, and 1 plus 1 might be pile up to 11, right? So first thing which comes in mind when we select a topic, when we do literature review, is that can I publish negative results? The answer to this is yes, right? And that is what we would take care while selecting the topic. Right? While we select the topic, we will keep in mind whether I can publish some negative results or not, right? So that is what we have from the research, right? First thing which I would like to discuss, right, or first thing which I would want you to clear out would be what is the definition of a good topic, right? So if you select a textbook version, right, if you say just Google out the definition of a good topic, you go to some very senior faculties, right, or your gurus, right, in asking them that what is a good topic, right, then these are some of the answers that you will get. And some of you will also say yes to me because you might have come across these sentences, right? First is that there should be excitement which should be created in you, right? If you are working in the field of civil engineering, right, and you ask me what is a good topic, then I will ask you, right, that what is one topic or one area which excites you, right? That maybe roads and buildings, maybe waste management, and maybe environmental thing. What exactly binds you? What exactly excites you, right? So that is the first criteria, a textbook version, right, of it. Second, somebody would ask me would be, or the textbook will give you would be, the title should be, or the topic should be very apt with the situation, right? That means your topic should not be something which is being done since 200 years, right? There should not be, the topic should not be like it is not relevant to the current subject, right? And the topic should not be so much futuristic that people will not be able to understand it, or you will not be able to carry out that research, right? So second important thing which textbook version tells is that your topic should be very apt within the situation. If you talk me about the current thing, right, that all the biomedics or all the you can say the medical field, if you want to define a good topic for them, then it would be COVID-19, right? Because it is very apt with the situation. Anything you do in the journey of treating this COVID or having some vaccine will immediately get published, immediately get accepted, and it will be immediately getting all the accolades which it is deserving. Right, so the second textbook version tells us that the topic should be very apt, right? It should be very in line with the situation, right? The third thing which the textbook version would tell is that generally we also do the same, that it should contribute something meaningful to the society, right? When you are doing something, when you are on the journey of something, right, the outcome should be such that it should be some meaningful to the society, right? If you are working in roads and building, then you should design a building which should be able to reduce the cost of the air condition, right? It should be cooled. If you are working in mechanical engineering field, or say a mechanical department, then you should do some topic, you should do some research on the topic which can increase the efficiency of the machines, right? So that the society will benefit, right? There will be reduced use of the petrol and diesel and all, right? So that are some of the things, or that is one of the criteria which textbook version will tell you. And last is it should have a wide research gap, right? Obviously, if you are doing a topic which has been researched in a very huge way, right, then the chances of publishing, the chances of getting something meaningful out of it would be limited. It might be possible some of your subordinate, some of your colleague, right, some of your peers may have started working and they are on verge of discovering something which you are already which you want to target or which you want to discover, right? So last thing which textbook version does is that it should have a very wide research gap, right? The research gap should be such that within 3 to 4 years of span, right, the research gap should still exist, right? And the number of parameters which are unknown should be very, very high, right? So that is the textbook version of the definition of a good topic, right? So these all definitions are there. Over and above that, I have formulated some points which are very, very important for you or for anybody when you define a good topic, right? So I tell it as a real version, that ground level pay, ground level, you can say condition is what, right? What exactly is there in ground level, that which you should target, which you should answer when you select a good topic, or first when you decide a good topic, right? When you define a good topic, right? First and foremost thing, whatever topic you choose, right? The earlier four versions or the earlier four points it should address or not address is fine, but it should address that it should be in line with your interest and strength, right? I work in the field of welding, right? If you tell me to design a hook, right, which we have done in that, I won't be able to do it because my master's was in advanced welding, right? My further research or my further work was in the field of welding. So you cannot tell me, right, to do a research in hook. Even if I select that topic, I will fail miserably, right? So even though the topic of the hook would be very apt according to the textbook version, that would be a very good topic as per the textbook version. But if it is not in line with your interest and strength, right, then it will never be a good topic. So सबसे पहले I hope you don't mind if I use some Hindi or Gujarati in between. Gujarati I will refrain, but I will use the Hindi in between so that it will create some impact and you can know that what is the importance of this entire line or entire topic, right? So the topic which you select, the definition would be good if it is in line with your interest and strength. You cannot tell me to do something on COVID-19, even though it fulfills all the four you can say questions or all the four rules laid out by the textbook version, right? So this is the reality. First thing, the topic should be in line with your interest and strength, right? Second thing, some amount of moderate literature should be available, right? If you are deciding the topic, that it should not happen that there is no back data, no research paper, no books, no blogs, no magazines which are addressing that topic, right? For example, COVID-19 back in August 2019 or maybe January 2019 would be a very worst topic to select, because at that time there was no data for COVID, there was no one thinking about COVID, right? There was nothing like COVID earlier in August or maybe January 2019, right? So when you are on the verge of selecting a very good topic, right, make sure that some amount of moderate literature is available. If the available literature is very high also, it is a problem, right? If there are a lot of papers available, then your research gap will be reduced, right? काफी सारे ऐसे topics हो गए जिसपे already सबने काम कर चुके हैं. So it is a very high risk that you select some topic which has a lot of papers, and when you are on your verge of your journey, you are on the verge of publishing and somebody else publishes the same topic, right? So all your research is gone, right? All your studies is gone, because novelty matters a lot in publishing, novelty matters a lot in everything, right? Even if you want to have your startup by doing some research, the final aim is that there should be a novelty, right? So that is the second thing, which a real version which I say, right? Third is, it will be best if it has some link with the industry or real life solutions, right? Slightly tilted version of the topic which the textbook version tells of a definition of a good topic. I will add it up to it that whatever field you are working in, maybe a computer or IT or civil or IC, anything, if you can have a good topic, right, which you can link up with the industry or some real life problems, then your problems will be reduced, right? What are some of the problems that we researchers face in India or say worldwide, right? Then sometimes it might be possible that you are interested in doing something, right? You go to somebody, right, and he or she doesn't provide a good answer to you, right? I am working in welding, for example. I have a query, I want some support from industry, right? If I go to an industry and I present my topic, the industry will be supporting me only if that topic is somewhat important for them. So what I suggest is that if you can select a topic which is the pain point of an industry, right? If you are working in the civil engineering, right? And if there is some topic, if the industry is facing a lot of issues in some concrete mixture, and if it suits all the other problem, all the other you can say statements of good topic, right? Then you should select that topic. Because immediately if you do something good, even if you want some support from the industry or the government, right, it will be very easy for you to get that support. You go to an industry, you tell them that I'm doing something in concrete mix, right? They will treat you as a king, right? You please come over here, take our data, do some experiment, use our facility, right? But take us out of this problem. That right, our concrete mix is not getting proper. My machine is not giving any efficiency. My software is not behaving when the users are increasing about 1,000, right? So that is all you can say different versions of the same department, but the thumb rule is that if you can link it up with some industry or some real life solutions or problems, then it will be best, right? Fourth thing which we always, each and every researcher misses out, right, is the resources, right? For example, right, I want to do a research, right, on Mars rover, right? This is in line with my strength. The moderate literature is available. There is a link up with the industry, right? NASA, ISRO, everybody will be very much interested to support my research, right? But do I have the resources available? Do I have the raw materials, or you can say machines or literature, right, which can enable me to do that research? Right, so many of the researcher students, they fail in a way that at the start of the journey they are being very much optimistic, right, that we will do this, we'll do that, we'll do this, we'll do that, right, and finally they end up in a topic, right, which may seem good at the start, but eventually after 6 months or 1 year, they are left out with no raw materials available, right, no machines available which can do their trials, right, no literature available within the open source, right, which can answer these questions, right? So first thing when you define a good topic would be, right, check out that what all are resources available with you. If I want to carry out my research in welding, I will be selecting that welding process which facilities I have in my college, best thing, so that I don't have to go and beg to somebody to lend the resources. If not within my my purview, I will go to some industries, some subordinates, some peers, right, before selecting the topic and ask them whether you would be helping me in say lending the support of using this machine, right? For example, I can share you a very clear example. My first PhD student, Dr. Rakesh, who works in PDPU itself, we selected a topic in machining which was pivoted to a steel which is termed as a shape memory alloy, right, which is not available in entire Gujarat, right? So that was the mistake which we made. I'm leading by the example, right? So I'm giving you a real life example. When we selected that, we had everything, but we forgot to search, right, that where the raw material would be available. So then we had to request the DMRL, that is a Defense Materials Research Lab in Ambernath, and by a lot of problems and pros and cons, we were successful to manage a small plate which was a shape memory alloy, right? So my humble request to you would be, when you define a good topic, just have don't go and order, right? Don't search for 100 suppliers, but at least have 2 or 3 suppliers of that machines or facilities or raw materials, right, which are very near to you and which are very open to you, right? For example, shape memory alloy was available in ISRO, but to take a material for ISRO is very difficult because we know the way in which they work, right? They do a cutting edge research. It is a institute of national importance, right? So we respect that, right? But for entering the ISRO also, you might have experience is a huge task because of the work they do and the way in which they have been positions, right? They are progressing excellently, right? So they need to have that security, right? So I have to respect them, right? So that is the 4th point you should take care that in defining the topic. These all points you will never get in any textbook, right? These are sheer from the experiences which I had with me as well as the researchers nearby, right, from all the colleges which I interact. 5th point is the realistic. राइट, हम लोग बोलते हैं कि मुझे दुनिया बदल देनी है, राइट, दैट डजंट fall into a realistic category. Be realistic to your you can say situation. If you are doing a PhD in part-time mode, right, you have to compromise with some of the quality. You have to compromise with the say area in which you are working, right, because you won't be able to dedicate ample amount of time daily, right. The only thumb rule of any of the phenomena is that the more you give effort, the more fruits you get, right. If you work daily on your research topic from starting 7 o'clock in the morning, in the evening 10 o'clock, obviously the results which you get will be faster and good, right. So lastly, be realistic. How much amount of time you will be able to give, right, how much amount of things you will be managing, right. For example, you are taking a raw material from somebody, going to machine it, or going to have some trials on somebody else place, testing it on somebody else place, right. Then it will be a lot more problems for you, because you have to coordinate with 4 to 5 agencies, right. Just an example which I am giving, right. Same with all the branches, right. So be realistic in selecting your topic, right. See your inner strength, see your inner pros and cons. It might be possible that somebody doing a full-time PhD with you may select a very good topic, right, but for him it might be a good topic, for you it might not be there, right. So be realistic, right. Once we know that what is a good topic for us, right, how to decide the topic. So say for example, yeah, you have given out that I will be working in the field of roads and building, right, or say environmental management, right. That is a topic or broad area which you decide, right. Then what will be your then what is the way in which you decide the exact topic or the title per se, right, the title definition or the roadmap definition. First is you just analyze at your part. Now this all has to be done by you, right. आपको आपके अंदर झांकना है, right. So first thing you decide is what is the purpose of your topic, right, or the purpose of your research. Whether it is the award of degree, whether it is to publish a paper, whether is it to start a startup, whether is it to solve a real life problem of the industry, right. So what are these 3 or 4 parameters, right, or what are these 3 or 4 purpose. You don't tell that purpose to anybody, right. Just tell this purpose to you, right, that what is the purpose of me deciding this topic, or what is the purpose of me doing the research. Whether I am doing it, no purpose is wrong. If I am doing it for a degree, it's fine, right, it is my right. If I want to do it for an industry, it's fine, right, I want to do it for them. If I want to have a startup and do a research, it's fine, it's my way, right. I want to do some research and start a company, right. I don't want to publish, I don't want to give it to industry, it's totally fine, right. So first is decide your purpose. Second thing, very important, what would be your parameter of success, right. I will explain this with a very good example, right. What will be your parameter of success? That means when you have decided the purpose, how will the success of that topic be decided? For example, first, whether it will be in terms of number of papers, right. So when I am deciding the topic, right, I have decided the purpose. If I want to publish heavily, for example, let me take one small example. My aim is that I want to do PhD just because I want to do a postdoc at some abroad universities and want to settle it down. So fine, right? No problem, no reservations in it. Right? You are free to decide your own path. So I have decided that I want to do postdoctorate, right? For having that, right, I would like to have minimum 4 to 5 papers out of my PhD research, right? So that is my purpose. So my parameter of success is this 3 or 4 papers within the span of 3 or 4 years, right? Now within that, if I select a topic, right, wherein the publishing is very, very difficult, then I am gone, right? So if, for example, if I decide a topic which has something to, for example, I took up a topic, right? My purpose is clear, postdoc. My parameter of success is clear, 3 to 4 research papers. The third thing which I decide is that I decided a topic in medical field, right? That I will be designing a prostate hand, for example, right? Now, in order to publish in medical field is next to impossible. You have to take permission from ICMR, from lot of medical reservations, lot of governmental institutes, then only you can publish a paper in medical field, right? Because if that paper is out, right, if they decide to publish the paper, or and in that if you have written that you mix these two chemicals and the tablet is made, right, then it is gone. It might be possible somebody sitting in some corner of the earth that will try these two, right, will make a tablet, will have the tablet and die, right? So before publishing your paper, they will test it a lot of times. There will be some trials which will be given, right? Then only they will approve it. Yeah, you can imagine that everybody has started making the vaccine of COVID, right? But still there are a lot of clinical trials which will be given out, right? If your purpose is to do something meaningful, you don't want to publish, it's fine, this topic. But if you want to publish within 3 to 4 years, this is not a good topic, right? So second, decide the parameter of your success, right? Third thing, within this topic, right, obviously the topic has been selected which will be your strength, as I discussed in the earlier slides, right? The topic will be within your strength areas or your strength values, right? Third thing which you need to do is you list down your areas of strength within that topic. So if I say welding, right, then I will list it down that out of that, what is my strength? Whether I'm good in modeling, in some software, I'm good in some experimental work, I'm good in characterization, I'm good in taking some surveys, right? So third thing, list down your areas of strength. What are different areas of your strength, right? Fourth is have a small amount of critical thinking of the current situation, right? Be updated with the current situation, right? Basically, you will select some topic which is very apt to the situation, right? Which will be very meaningful to the situation, right? But when you are on your way of deciding the topic, give a very critical thinking of the current situation, right? For example, if I am a mechanical engineer, I want to decide a good topic, right? I am working in the field of engines. I would prefer to work in BS4 or BS5 engines, right? For example, I know that currently there was a Paris Treaty which was happened, wherein all the countries, majority of the countries, they told that we will try to reduce the emissions of the petroleum products to a very large extent, right? So I will try to take a topic, right, which will be very apt, or you can say somewhat related to that, right? So that is a fourth thing which I will do. Fifth thing, whatever area, whatever topic I have decided, I will do an in-depth literature review. Once I have decided that I would like to work in these roads or buildings, I have decided to work in the field of engine, I will do a very in-depth literature review, right, of that topic, right? Once I have done that, I will analyze. So say for example, I have selected 100 papers, I have downloaded 100 papers, right? I will read that papers, I will analyze. That what I will analyze, whether there is a evident research gap or not. I may have thought that I will make some changes in the piston, right, to have that efficiency or go for BS4, right? But it might be possible within these 100 papers, 80 papers are there who are answering this piston problem, right? So after you do an in-depth literature review, go a step back and then analyze, right? Now the seventh important thing which you need to do is that start after the analysis, again start from point number 1, right? So at the end of this sixth step, you will have a topic and title, right? So now once you have done the analysis, you are very much clear that okay, now my topic would be that change in the piston design, right, for increased efficiency, for example, in automobile, right? That is my topic or title which I have decided. I always tell to each of my friends, colleagues, students, or all the researchers which I do, that before going for that topic or selecting the topic, again analyze from the first, right? So first, so when you have analyzed that this is my title, again ask the question whether it is fulfilling the purpose. So my purpose is that I want to go for postdoc. Yes, so fine, it is a very good topic. Second, parameter of success. Would I be able to publish 3 or 4 papers out of this? Yes, because there are no governmental regulations, right? There is a wide research gap, so I can do that. Third, is it one of the areas of my strength? If yes, then go ahead, right? So basically what you do is, once you analyze, when you carve out a topic, you again start from first point, right? So the entire cycle will be repeated. Once you are at the 7th step, then you go and finalize the entire topic, right? So those whoever are on your way to decide a topic, right, try to have this cycle. Try to first define the good topic and then decide the topic in this way, right? A good topic, we always say, right, that in Gujarati or English, that good start is half work done, right? The same is in the research. A good topic, right, is half research done, right? So spend for 1 or 2 months, spend your maximum time in deciding the topic and come out with a topic with so much grace or so much details, right, that you won't have any problem in doing that research and finally publishing or getting your purpose, right? So this is my simple cycle which I follow, and I would like to present it to you, that you can decide your topic by this cycle, right? Pardon me if I'm being very straight or very practical with you, because this is what matters, right? Once I say literature review, right, the second part of our topic is how to do a literature review or how to search database in doing so, right? Searching of a database is one part of literature review, but I will just give you a brief about the entire literature review, you can say ecosystem, how it works, right? First thing which comes is that you have to collect the data, right? So fine, we will collect the data, maybe books, magazine, blogs, research papers, review papers, letter to editors, anything, right? Book chapters, conference proceeding, everything. First would be, we will be collecting the literature review, right? After that, most important thing, when you are within your literature review would also be analyze, right? Try to analyze the papers which you are collecting. For example, many people, what they tend to do is, if they have 1 month for literature review, then 25 days they will just collect the papers, right? So day one they collected 10 papers, 10 aisa karke, at the end of 25th day they have 250 papers, right? What I suggest is that change that technique. You do a literature review, collect the data for 5 days and keep 2 days for analysis. Try to do some analysis, right, wherein you can have this 5 days paper, a small analysis, and then again collect for the coming time, right? What will happen is, you will just have a feeling, or you will just know that what should be the area which I will be targeting in getting the papers also. I'm interested in working the piston design, but the papers which I'm collecting for 25 days would be answering the different aspect, but not piston, right? The title would be that the change in design of engine for getting the efficiency. So I will download it. But when I analyze it, I will see that there is not a single paragraph which addresses the piston. So that paper is waste for me in a way, right? So after 25 days, if you keep on analyzing, then you say that out of the 250 papers, only 20 papers are of my use, right? Then your 25 days or 1 month is gone, right? So what I do, what I suggest is that collect the paper, then analyze it. Third is formulate it, right? Once you do the analysis, make a table or make a formulation, right? For example, in analysis, you got, right, that out of the 50 papers, 40 papers are for your concern. Yeah, 40 papers are for piston, the example which I took. When you formulate this paper, that means when you read it critically and you make a table or have some notes out of it, right, you will be very, very surprised to know it might be possible that people have done this in a very larger scale. Like, for example, you will be targeting that the efficiency I will increase, right, from 20 to say 25. 20% to 25%, right? So for you, it will be a very big thing that I will be increasing by 5%. But when you formulate the paper, right, you might be seeing that some researchers have claimed up to 50% increase in the efficiency. So your 40 or 25% will be of waste. So third thing, when you doing a literature review, you collect it, analyze it, and you formulate it. Make a formulation, make a comparative study, that who all are the authors who have worked on it, what is the level of efficiency they have achieved, how they have done it, right? And lastly, you sort out your data. So at the end of each week, right, sort out the data. So two things will happen. It should not happen that you are collecting some papers which are very old. Generally, we do that in a literature review or in a research review paper. We get those papers. Which are 10 years old. That we never go more than 10 years, right? So generally we say that 10 to 15 or decade old paper is good, but I cannot refer some paper which has been done in 1950 when I'm sitting in 2020, right? So sort it out. Sort out that literature review part or the number of papers which you collect. Right. So these are the four things which you should do when you are doing a literature review. Right. Now, how to carry out this literature review? The second part of our talk. Right. That how to carry out the literature review. Right. First and very simple thing is the website. Now, when I say website, then there are a lot of websites which are there. For example, you can search in Scopus, you can search in Mendeley, as Professor Sir told in the first lecture. It can be, say, Science Direct search, anything, right? But for one website which stand out across entire thing is Google Scholar, right? Why, that I will tell you. Right? Some people, they tend to use Google also sometimes, right? So that is also a problem because Google sometimes gives a very weird data, right? Google will answer, say you search it out that increasing the efficiency of engine, right? Then Google will give you all sorts of things. Google will give you a tweet also, it will give you an Instagram post also, it will give you a Facebook post also, which is not a meaningful thing for you, and the authenticity is also questioned. Right? One thing very important in searching out this literature is that, right, it should be authentic. There are a lot of journals also who are publishing fake results, right? We all know when we are in the field, right? So in the same way, there are some tweets, Facebook posts or mentions or something which is nothing to do with you. So Google will give results in all of this. So instead of that, I sincerely tell, right, use Google Scholar, right, for the literature review. Now, from in the next slide, I will tell you how to search using Google Scholar. Right? You can use Google Scholar in a very candid way, in a very deep way. You won't need any other website if you know how to use Google Scholar. Right? Very simple. Okay. So that is, first is the website, that is a Google Scholar. Second is the social media sites, right? Nowadays, right, you have to go ahead of a regular search also. For example, when you are on your verge of getting some papers, there would be some papers which won't be available anywhere. For example, it is shown on Science Direct but not available for you. It is shown on Google Scholar but not opening up, right? So in that point of time, sometimes you might feel that there is a social media site known as ResearchGate, right, which is basically a community of researchers, right? So you make an account in ResearchGate, that you can communicate with all those fraternity people, researchers with whom you might be working across, or whose papers you might be referring, right? So one way of literature review or collecting the paper is that you can make an account of ResearchGate, follow that person, that researcher. Sometimes I have done it myself. Sometimes you also I have also asked the researcher about the paper, right? So if some paper is not getting, and you know the author of the paper is so and so person, you can very humbly send him a message that I'm not getting this paper, would you be kind enough to supply it or give it to me? Majority of the time you will get it, right? So you have used all your resources, all your tactics, but still if you are not getting the paper, that is also one this is also one way in which you can get it, right? Third thing is the networking. A very efficient source of literature review is the networking. Whatever problem, whatever topic you are thinking to take it up as a research topic, discuss the same problem with peers and seniors. That whenever you meet somebody, right, try to discuss that problem. What will happen with the help of your network, that you will be able to know, right, that where can I get the best data out of this topic, right? Each and every university, group or researcher specializes in some or other area. For example, University of so and so, right, would be very excellent in say getting the environmental data. So and so person or so and so university is very good in mechanical related research. So when you discuss your problems, when you discuss your ideas with the peers and seniors, right, you will be able to know more. You will be able to fetch the data which will be important for your literature review. Trust me, some of the research review or literature review is even lying only in the hard form with some persons. It has not been digitalized. It has not been you can say available in the soft form. So you can get that hidden data also. This all comes under the field of data mining, that how deep you can dive into data. right? Lastly, which I will be demonstrating it to you, is the back references, right? How the references can matter, or how the back references can be a very effective way in which the literature review can be done, right? Right. So let us now go to Google Scholar, right? And I will tell you how you can make a very efficient search out of it, right? So is my Google Scholar visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Visible. Visible, sir.
Right. So you, me, I think we all might have used Google Scholar at some point of time, right? In order to search some data or go deep within the data. I will just tell you some tactics by which you can get exact data or more amount of data out of it, right? So this is the screen of Google Scholar, right? The website is scholar.google.co.in, right? First thing which you can do is that you can make an account of yours in Google Scholar. Right now, what is the benefit of it, right? Say for example, I have an account over here. So this is my account. This is my email ID. I have linked it up with it. What will happen is, once you open this Google Scholar, based on my search data, based on the research papers which I have published, based on the searches which I have made in the past, you can say time, will recommend me some articles. Right. So if you can see over here, if I click this see all recommendations, I will get all the papers which are some or other way related to my field. So I work in the field of, say, machining and welding. If you can see, as you can see over here, the activated TIG welding, the A-TIG welding, on which I did my PhD. So somebody published a very good paper in 2020, that if you can see over here, right, that Google Scholar is recommending me. So what happened is that my pain of searching this paper is being over. When you go for a literature review, then literature review will be across 6 months, for example, or 4 months. Now you search it in August, in September, some new thing comes. In October, some new things comes, right? Some paper, some book, some book chapter, something, right? So first thing, very effectively, what you can do is you can make a profile, right, from Google Scholar, right, which will give you these recommendations, right? The making of a profile is very, very simple. And once you make a profile, then something sort of this will be there, wherein all your papers will be listed over here, right? So these are the papers which I have published in 2020, right? These are my co-authors, these are my citations, right? So one thing will be very clear, that once you have an account over here, there will be some amount of information which will be given by Google to you without doing any search, right? So that is a advanced thing, right? Now coming back to Google Scholar, when you are starting to search Google, right? When you are starting to search Google Scholar, right? First thing which you need to do is, I think somebody has left their, you can say, yes, mute. Can you just mute? I'm getting some disturbance, that's why. Okay, right. Yes. So first thing which you will obviously will do is you will search for some keywords, right? For example, welding, solar, right? Strength of the building, software, Python, Java. These are all different, you can say, types of keywords which are there, right? So say for example, I'm just roughly giving one keyword known as welding, right? So first thing which I'm searching is welding, right? There are around 35 lakh, or sorry, once 35 lakh 40,000 results which I have got, right? So all the papers, all the literature review, everything, right, which mentions welding either in the title or in the text body, or within the entire body, will be displayed over here, right? So that is the first way in which you can search, right? Try to have the keywords. If you want to reduce the results, right, you can keep a longer keyword. For example, friction stir welding, right? So out of the 35 lakh, now there are 1 lakh 5,000 results which mentions this friction stir welding, right? If I go for friction stir welding of aluminum alloys, I have further narrowed down my search, and this 1 lakh is converted to 43,800. right? So you keep on increasing your keywords, or keep on playing with your keywords, so that the results will be going on, right? The results you will get, right? So first thing which you can do is, once you get these results, you can simply click this link, right? And the paper will be open, right? So this is the paper which is there, right? Before that, right, just by searching for a few details which you can get is that this blue is the title of the paper. So just by looking at the paper, it will be very much feasible to you. It will be very understandable to you whether the paper would be of some use to you or not. If I am having magnesium as my alloy, this paper might not be for me. If I am doing some different type of process on aluminum, this might not be a paper for me, right? So that is the first thing, is the title which you get. The second thing which you get is the authors. You will know all the authors who are working within this field, right? First thing. Third thing which you will get is the information about the journal in which it is produced. So International Materials Journal or whatever may be the journal, it will be displayed. Next thing which you will be able to see is the year that it is published in 2009. And the next thing which you can see is the publisher which is there. Generally we have two publishers, right? That is Taylor and Francis, Elsewhere and Springer, right? So if the publication or the paper is from these three things, right, then it is very legitimate. It is you can say very trustworthy, right? So that is the first way in which you can randomly search the database by getting some keywords, right? One more way in which, or one more feature which Google Scholar does, is that you can have your time frame. For example, I told you that you want some papers just in the last 5 years or 4 years, right? Then on the left hand side, you can see over here, currently the selection is anytime, right? So it is showing me 43,800 results. Some paper might be published in 1950, it will be listed. Some paper may be published yesterday, it will be displayed, right? So I want only last 4 or 5 papers or 5 years paper, right? I will click on my I will click on this since 2016, right? So since 2016, right, there are around 21,000 papers over and above on this topic which I am searching, which has been published, right? One thing more which can happen is that you don't want from 2016 up to 2020. You have a range in mind, right? That I just want to have some papers which has been published between 2016 and 2018, right? Then you can go for a custom range. Just write it over here 2018 and then search. So instead of 21,000 paper within 2016 to 2018, right, there are around 15,000 papers which are being published, right? And these are all the data, right, for these papers, right? The 15,000 papers over here, right? If I keep over here 2019 and 2020, in last 1 year, only in last 1 year, if you see, 11,000 papers have been done, right? So you would also be very glad to know that by this search, by this function of the search, you will be also able to know, right, that what is the hot topic currently. For example, this friction stir welding, which is a sort of process, right, of aluminum alloys, has been published 11,000 times in the last 1 year. Right? That means this is very much meaningful to the current subjects, right, or the current scenario. Instead of this, if I write one topic which is a very advanced topic, and then I search over here, sorry, and search it over here, you see only 656 results are there. So the number of persons working, the hype, or you can say the amount of efforts given in friction stir welding, right, that technique is 11,000, and in this technique it is only 656. Obviously, when more people are working, that means it is very much sustainable, it is very much meaningful to the current situation. Right? So that is an additional thing which generally we miss or we don't consider during the topic selection or literature review, right? So this is how you can search the literature, first thing, right? Second thing, over here on the left hand side, if you see, you can sort out by relevance. For example, when I'm searching this, then this alloy is coming over here, right? That means it will highlight it over here first, right? All the things wherein to the, for example, if in this topic, if you see, out of these all words, ATIC as well as alloys are coming over here. So this is the most relevant paper within the title, right? So alloy and ATIC is coming. So two things are matching. So it will show you first. Similarly, ATIC and welding both are matching. So it will show you first. If you go to lower things, if you go on and on from the 10th page, right, it might be possible that only AL and only alloy is there, right? So it is showing in the last way, even though it is published in 2019, right? So the by default selection is sort by relevance, right? You can also sort it by date. So once you sort it by date, right, irrespective of anything, right, it will show you the relevance, or it will show you the novelty by which it is published. So the paper which is published yesterday will be shown first to you, right? 2020, right? Again, this might be 2020 again. 2020, right? 2019 papers will now be at the last, right? So that is one more way in which you can effectively search this topic. The reason to use this you can say add-ons is that generally we tend to use in a way even in a Google search also, right? Say for example, if I'm searching good places to you can say go around in weekend near Ahmedabad, right? Then what I will do is I will go for first page, maybe second, एक या दो पेज तक मैं जाऊंगा, but I won't be going at the last page. Might be possible that सही आंसर मुझे last page पे ही मिले, right? But my searching is in a way that it goes to last. So one thing which you can do is you can use these different add-ons in a way, right, by which this search can be enhanced. So you can sort it out by date, right? Why that's the next thing. Why I told you that the Google Scholar is the best thing to do, because Google Scholar is one thing which will encompass each and every literary material. जो भी लिटरेचर रिव्यू का रिलेटेड मटेरियल्स है वो सबको इसमें कवर कर लेगा. फॉर एग्जांपल, द स्कोपस विल कवर ऑल द जर्नल्स ओनली दोज आर इंडेक्स्ड बाय स्कोपस, राइट? ऑल द पेपर्स, ऑल द proceedings, all the books which they have indexed. If they have not indexed a particular set of you can say intellectual right, then they won't be showing in that search, right? This happens in many times that some universities in abroad have their own journal, right? And they have not listed it on Scopus, and they are doing a very cutting edge research, right? So that data might escape from you. So in order to not go into it, you can use this Google Scholar, because here you can include patents also. So I have included patents over here, right? So if I go across, right, if you can see here, it is written book. So this is a book. This is a PDF, right? So this might be a paper. If you go across, then there would be some sort of patents which will also be shown to you, right? So it has a database of patents also. It might be possible you will get something meaningful out of that, right? Some meaningful data from that patent, right? So you don't have to go and search for patents differently. You do Google Scholar search, and if there is some patent which is very near to your searching, it will be shown to you, right? Second thing, you can also include citations. Now there are certain, say for example, as I gave you the example, right? I am writing a research paper. I have taken some reference from a book which is not available on online form, which is not available on Scopus, not available even on Google Scholar, right? But I found it very useful. I have taken some part of it and taken it in my paper, right? So now what will happen once the paper is published, right? There will be one references or one citation pertaining to that, right? Now, if I want to search in deep, right? How will I know that the book is there? There is some book wherein something related to the topic is given when you know the citations. So if I click on include citation, that means the Google Scholar will also show me, right, that what are the different citations which are there, right? If I click out this thing, right, then I will just show you. Here you can see that there are around 18,700 results, right? Out of that, if I unchecked citations, so there are 16,700. So there are close to 2,000 citations which are available, right, within this topic. That means 2,000 materials are there which are not available in an online form, but some researcher has used in his study and cited it, right? So that is how you can use this Google Scholar. You can even include the citations, right? Similarly, if I not include patents, then also around these results are there. So 2,000 patents would be there in across this 18,000 or something, right? So that is the most effective way in which you can search the Google Scholar, the normal way. Now, one additional thing which you can do, right, on this. I will come to this create alert maybe in the later. It is not much useful, that's why, but maybe if time permits, I will explain you that. The second way in which you can search this Google Scholar, right, is by the author search. Now, as I told you, right, I have a profile on my Google Scholar, right? So it is sure that all my publications which are listed over here will be something relating around metallurgy, material science, welding, joining, or you can say manufacturing, right? Because I work in that area, right? So second important thing by which you can do Google Scholar is that, say for example, you search a paper. Say for example, you search a paper over here, you get this paper, and out of the list of authors, if you can see this author P.J. Withers, right, you can see a line in between, right, line in the bottom line. What does it mean? This author has an account on Google Scholar, right? Once this author has a account on Google Scholar, one benefit of Google Scholar is that I don't need to add my publication. So मैं जितना भी lazy हूँ, right? For example, I made a profile, I made an account on Google Scholar, but I'm very lazy, so I'm not uploading my my papers. Like I have not uploaded that I have 1 paper, 2 paper, 3 paper, right? I'm very lazy. Google Scholar, whenever catches that there is a paper in the name of Jaykumar Vora or with an email ID which I have listed over here, it will immediately link it up with my profile. तो मेरे प्रोफाइल में वो ऑटोमेटिक आ जाएगा. So Google Scholar पे just आपका email ID के साथ you have a profile. Immediately when you publish, within few days it will come to your profile. You don't have to add it. If you see all these papers, I have not added a single paper. It has all been done automatically, right? So that is how the Google Scholar will help you, and that is why I say that Google Scholar is the Brahmastra, or you can say one-stop solution for the literature review, right? So once you see this line, you just simply click over here. So the profile of that person who is the author of that paper will be there. So I am sure that this person, right, is working in the area which I am looking for. Immediately I can sort this with the year, and I will be knowing that over and above that one paper, what are the other papers whom that has been authored by this particular author in the field. So you can see over here, right? So I don't, if by chance some of this paper which is very important to me has been skipped by a regular search of Google Scholar, I will get it from here, right? So that is the first advantage. Second advantage, that if this person, say for example, I will take again my example so that it is very relatable to you. I have made a profile over here, then there is one section over here, if you can see the co-authors, right? So if I am working in the field of welding or manufacturing, obviously the other person will also be working the co-authors. Like for example, if there are 5 authors, all the five authors will be working in the same field, right? So I have referred, somebody has referred all the papers published by me. He can go a step forward and he can go and click this co-author, say Vivek Patel, right, who is in Northwestern Polytech University, right? He is working in the same field. So you can refer all the papers he has published, wherein I am also not the co-author. So if Vivek Patel sir has worked with some XYZ faculty and by chance you have skipped some papers in normal Google Scholar, by this way you will be able to get the paper, right, which he has published with some another group. मेरे साथ जो पेपर है वो तो आपको मेरे प्रोफाइल में मिल ही जाएगा. The papers published by me and Dr. Vivek Patel will be shown in both of our profiles without any doubt, right? But over and above that, when you refer the profile of Dr. Vivek Patel, you will also be able to see all the papers which has been authored by him, not with me, but some other. This process goes on. You can refer to his other co-authors like this, right? This Samad Zala, he is also working in the same field, right? So this is a cycle which is there, right? So you can get a lot of papers, lot of data mining papers can be there. Right, so that is the second thing. That is one way in which you can do. The one more you can say feather in the crown for Google Scholar. You can also go and see that how many times the paper has been cited. Right. So if I, for example, I will use a generic way. Right. So if I see, if I write the welding over here, then I will get a lot of results, as you know, right? If I say anytime, then I will get a lot of papers. Now, out of these, if you can see over here, there is a tab known as cited by, right? So Google will always also tell me, right, that what are the number of citations for this paper. You will be amazed to see, right, that there will be some papers in 1950 published in 1950 which has not been cited, or which has been cited only twice or thrice, right? Usko 2 या 3 बार ही citation मिला होगा. What is the reason? The paper may not be so good, right? The paper may not be giving that results which are very meaningful, right? So due to all these factors, you can also see, you can judge the quality of the paper. Yeah, you can judge the way you can judge in a way कि ये paper आपके लिए useful रहेगा कि नहीं, whether the paper will be meaningful for you. If I find a paper which has been cited 1164 times, right, that means it's very huge. That means this is a very legitimate paper, very good paper. I will get a very meaningful data out of this paper, right? So that is how you can use Google Scholar in effectively searching your database. Right? So that is one more way in which you can do Google search. This create alert is basically the way in which you can create an alert. Right? For example, you want to, you now know that Dr. Vivek Patel is working with me, or you are working in welding and you know that I'm working in the same field. Right? You can just list down an alert over here that the query will be welding, or maybe sometimes the email ID also. Right, you can write the name of the author also. You go there and create a alert. Right, so what will be the alert that now onwards, whenever some paper related to welding or some paper wherein the author would be Jaykumar Vora would be immediately sent to my email ID. तो अगर आप बीच में भी अगर आप भूल गए हो सर्च करना, but Google will send you an email that there is a new paper which has come which mentions welding, or there is a new paper which has been published by Dr. Jaykumar Vora, right? You can go and search whether it is on welding, and if it is on welding, whether it is you can say important for you, or it is being referred by you, right? So that is one more additional feature which is being given by Google Scholar. Right, so that is the best way, or that are few ways in which you can search this Google Scholar. Right, in this way we can make a very deep search. Right, so given the time, I'm stopping over here. It is 1:45 already. Right, very much thank you to Darshan sir and entire team of Gandhi College principal sir for giving me this opportunity, as well as all the funding agencies like DST, Government of Gujarat, Gandhi College, as well as PDPU, my birthplace, who allowed me to present this topic. And I hope I was very crisp and to the point within the topic, and I hope you gained some knowledge out of it. I'm open. If you have any questions, we can take up some questions.
So any question from the participants? You can unmute yourself and directly ask to Jay sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, one thing like while searching for